Thanks everybody for dropping in our second TNT of the week. It's Tuesday, the 27th of June. Now, let's just check a story, or the latest in the story we did last week. And this from ThaiPBSWorld.com said that 4 Thais charged in a Malaysian court for human trafficking. And 4 Thai nationals were charged in a Malaysian court, this happened last Friday, with trafficking migrants from Myanmar in connection with the discovery of mass graves near the Thai-Malaysian border back in 2015. They were charged a day after they were extradited by Thai authorities in what Thailand's Deputy National Police Chief described as a demonstration of the country's commitment to cracking down on human trafficking. Well, Thailand certainly hasn't had a great record in that regard in the past, although certainly over the past 2 decades things have improved. And the Thais were charged in a case related to the 2015 discovery to more than 100 graves of Rohingya and Bangladeshi human smuggling victims near Malaysia's border with Thailand. And Burner News reported that if found guilty, the suspects face a maximum of 15 years in jail and a fine, or both. And the story says the next court date is set for July the 25th. And just noticing there that it says that the 4 were not represented by lawyers. That's a little bit unusual, given that usually under the Malaysian judicial system, a defence lawyer would be nominated for people who are under such serious charges. Moving to our next story, also from ThaiPBSWorld.com, 32 tonnes of narcotics incinerated on UN International Day against drug abuse and illicit trafficking. I think they're going to have to come up with a much snappier name for the day in the future. And the story says that Thailand incinerated about 32 tonnes of various narcotics yesterday, valued at an estimated 21.4 billion baht on the street. And they destroyed, over 20,000 kilograms of methamphetamine, nearly 6,000 kilograms of crystal meth, that's also known as ice, over 5,000 kilograms of caffeine, which is D-norpseudoephedrine, 364 kilograms of ketamine, 275 kilograms of heroin, 85 kilograms of MDMA, I'm not going to read that one, 43 kilograms of cocaine, 22 kilograms of nimetazepam, and about 6 kilograms of opium, and a partridge in a pear tree. And the drugs were incinerated at a facility in Bang Phu Industrial Park at more than 1,200 degrees Celsius. And that very high temperature might be useful in this next story, with apologies if you've just had breakfast or something. From ThaiPBSWorld.com, 110 tonnes of smuggled beef and cattle carcasses buried in Phetchaburi. And at 1,200 degrees Celsius, that wouldn't be an incineration, that'd be a barbecue. And Thailand's Livestock Development Department buried about 110 tonnes of illegal beef yesterday, which had been smuggled into the country, mostly from India. The smuggled beef was part of a total of 354 tonnes, valued at more than 53 million baht, which was seized by livestock and customs officials last year. The balance has already been destroyed. Certainly hope they had the rest refrigerated. Just imagine the smell around that landfill in about 2 weeks. Woo! And then the next line says the minister also appealed to consumers to avoid buying smuggled meat, even though it's cheaper, and to eat only quality local meat for their own safety. Well, I wouldn't know if it's smuggled meat or not. I suppose if you're at a supermarket and the price is significantly lower than you're used to paying, then it might be smuggled. But if you're going to a restaurant, who knows if the meat's been smuggled or not. A big thanks, by the way, to 5 Star Marine for their significant support over the past 10 months of TNT. There's a link in the description below this video, and that'll give you a link which gives TNT viewers a special deal. TNT on a Tuesday, and making our way to Pattaya and the PattiaNews.com. Thai youths. Yeah, I was wondering whether youth is a plural or not. Apparently you can use youth or youths. Urge Pheu Thai to rid the country of illegal drugs and recriminalise. And a group of Thai youth on Monday proposed 9 proposals to the Pheu Thai party in a bid to combat drug problems across the country. Yes, I won't be mentioning that word or any words associated with that word because YouTube doesn't like it when I do, so just bear with me. And the petitioners say they want to see Pheu Thai urgently follow their 9 proposals, which roughly include change the laws to allow the use of seized assets from drug trafficking to build educational spaces for combating drug addiction, reform the education system and curriculum both inside and outside classrooms to provide youth with up-to-date knowledge against drugs. Number 3 is the Office of the Public Sector Development Commission under the Ministry of Justice should serve as a listening unit, collecting public opinions and feedback. And number 4, this is the controversial one, consider the reclassification of as a controlled narcotic substance with necessary measures to prevent its misuse, which would essentially recriminalise the plant. And a spokesperson for the group said that drug problems had started to worsen after the 2014 coup, where the Pheu Thai government was overthrown by the now caretaker PM, General Prayut Chan-o-cha. He said that things were even worse after Prayut's government decided to decriminalise broccoli without having necessary preventative measures. And the Pheu Thai party, as the second largest coalition partner, are committed to eradicating illicit drugs and believe that should be reclassified as a controlled substance, which should be used for medical purposes only. Well, if this youth group actually sat down and read the manifestos from most of the parties before the election, they'd notice that there's almost full support for a continuation of medicinal use. However, the recreational use is what's going to end up being banned again. Now, also from the PattayaNews.com, and this was from yesterday, the Thai Ministry of Health defends, cautions incoming government not to recriminalise it, addressing the possibility of the new administration outlawing the use of this. The Minister Anaturn urged anyone backing such a move to carefully take into account factors as the medical benefits, as well as additional regulations that can be introduced to control its recreational use. Yeah, I think all the controversy is over this recreational use issue. The medical use, everybody is basically in full support. And the minister, that's the outgoing minister, added that he believes his successor should consider the drug from a medical perspective first and foremost, noting that he only supported its usage for treatment purposes, which ultimately adds to the economic value of the plant. Well, if that's what his intention was, then he seriously failed. The situation now is an almost completely unfiltered Wild West. We'll just have to see what the new government does when it sits down in Parliament. I'm sure they're going to address this fairly urgently. Moving on to our next story, and we head down to the south of Thailand, and a headless male body, also missing both hands, found floating near the Phi Phi Islands. And first responders arrived at the scene about 500 metres to the west of the Phi Phi Lay Island. That's the largest island in the Phi Phi Island group. The male body was beginning to decompose and his head and hands were missing. Tattoos saying father and mother were found on the back of one of his shoulders. Police believe the man died at least 5 days before his body was found and was believed to be of Asian descent. His cause of death and identity is under investigation by relevant authorities. And now moving to a story from evnexpress.net. This following the evolution of visas around Southeast Asia at the moment. Good news for those people that are looking to travel to Vietnam. And Vietnam lawmakers approve extension of e-visa validity to 3 months. The story says the National Assembly approved on Saturday a government proposal to extend the validity of tourist e-visas from 30 to 90 days and allow visitors multiple entries. The amendments take effect from August the 15th. They also triple to 45 days the duration of visa-free stays for visitors from certain countries. Nationals of some Western European countries, Japan and South Korea, Vietnam's top tourism markets, are now permitted to visit without a visa for 15 days. And then further down there, Vietnam currently offers e-visas to citizens of 80 countries and territories and waives visas for nationals of 25 countries, mostly for between 15 to 30 days, a policy considered less generous than other countries in its neighbourhood. Yes, the visa situation changes. It evolves continuously, and the situation in one country in Southeast Asia is not like the other, so you need to really check the visa situation in each country before you head in this direction. Will Thailand reintroduce the 45-day visa waiver? I'm thinking that's going to happen probably sooner rather than later, given the big drop-off of the number of international arrivals at this time. So just checking with Vietnam, and this is the visa exemption policy, which resumed from March the 15th and looks like it's going to be extended from August the 15th. And these are the countries that can arrive in Vietnam visa-free for 14 days, 15 days, 21, 30 and 90 days. Interesting there that Chile and Panama get 90 days visa-free. What's the deal there between Chile, Panama and Vietnam? But if you want to read more, that story at e.vnexpress.net. And moving on to the BangkokPost.com, and just a bit of a political update, the things happening as we move towards the selection of a new government and a Prime Minister around about the second week of July. And the coalition bloc eyes a backup plan. The 8-party coalition, with all the enthusiasm in the world, needs to look at a backup plan. And the 8 prospective coalition parties are expected to discuss a contingency plan at a meeting on Thursday if they can't proceed with the formation of a government, according to the Pheu Thai Secretary-General. Asked about a rumour that a substantial sum of money would be paid to renegade MPs in certain parties in exchange for their support during the vote on the House Speaker or the vote for a Prime Minister, the Pheu Thai spokesman said it will not be easy this time because democracy has progressed considerably. So of course, all these politicians haven't been sitting around doing nothing. There have been powerful people who have been getting busy on the phones and offering substantial amounts of money. The amount of money might surprise you. The rumour mill went into overdrive recently about a move by rival parties to form a government and usurp the 8-party coalition led by the Move Forward Party by paying to lure the support of renegade MPs. I'll leave it to you to guess who would be behind these particular moves. The next paragraph, responding to the rumour that about 60 renegade MPs would be paid 100 million baht each in exchange for their support, the Bumjai Party leader Anaton Charvirakun said people in their right mind wouldn't pay. And asked whether the Bumjai Thai would join a coalition government led by Pheu Thai if the Move Forward Party fails in its bid to form a government, Mr Anaton said there had been no signs showing the MFP would fail so far. And noting that even pushed at that media conference, Mr Anaton never said no. And moving to the Democrats, and a representative from the Democrats said they'll hold a General Assembly on July the 9th to select a new leader, and if Abhisit, its former leader and former Prime Minister of Thailand, is re-elected, it's likely that he'll support Mr Pita to become the next Prime Minister. And noting that the Democrats only have got 25 votes, the 9-party coalition's going to need more than that to get across the line. The situation obviously is still quite fluid, and it looks like wallets have been opened. And the representative from the Democrats said he did not think Pheu Thai would try and oust the Move Forward Party to become the leader in forming a government, as this would hurt the party's reputation. I'm not sure if reputation's going to get in the way of the opportunity to pull the levers of power. Anyway, that's a bit of a roundup of things happening around Thailand and the region over the past 24 hours. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date. If you get an opportunity on your way out, please subscribe to the channel. I'd be most appreciative. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. Thanks for turning up each day, and we'll see you tomorrow.